And we're back. We figured instead of doing one 4-hour podcast, we would break it up into 3 4-hour podcasts. But no, so this is the third part of the now mega-sized, ultra-sized, family-sized podcast, episode 20 of I66 Heart Wrestling. If you haven't listened to the first 2 parts, what are you doing with your life? Go listen to them, then listen to this, or else you're not going to get it. You want to get it, don't you, dummy? Now, come on. Get with the program. All right, that's out of the way. Where were we? Drew's asleep. We have to start again.
We got to the last 3 names on this wonderful list of names that consist of the one that we talked about at the end of part 2, Kurt Angle.
Yep.
The man, the myth, the drug addict.
Yep.
Who had quite the lengthy career.
Yeah, I like that we're talking about him like he's dead.
Most of it spanning TNA, but
spent his tombstone will read, spent the bulk of his time in TNA.
TNA legend, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Former Olympian, former sane person, current insane person.
Yes. Current possessor of what is known in the medical profession as Orndorff arm.
Oh, Orndorff arm. So gross.
Yep. But he's plugging away regardless.
Even though he shouldn't be.
No. He probably should have quit wrestling after WWE fired him for being a drug addict.
Yes.
But instead, he went on to wrestle in TNA for 9 years.
Mind-boggling.
Versus his less than 7 in WWE.
Yep.
So that's interesting in and of itself. And as we have been doing so far, it is based entirely on longevity. So obviously, the better Kurt Angle run was TNA. Agreed? Agreed.
And
Next.
we're done.
Over. Show over. Forever.
All right. I'm going to list off what Kurt did in the EF.
What he did?
Yeah.
Okay, what did he do? He wrestled some guys. He had sex with a black woman.
He apparently got Dawn Marie pregnant.
Got Dawn Marie pregnant. All right, so those are his WWE accomplishments. What did he do in TNA? He had sex with the same black woman.
It was a different black woman, wasn't it?
Was it? Wasn't it Charmel every time?
It wasn't Charmel.
Wasn't it?
Charmel's Booker's wife.
What, that wasn't her?
It was freaking
Shaniqua?
Shaniqua.
All right.
And then in TNA, it was
Shaniqua again?
Shaka Khan, whatever the hell her name was.
Isn't that Shaniqua?
Raisha Khan.
Raisha Saeed? Like a cheerleader Melissa in a burqa?
Congo. I don't know. It was
Congo Kong?
Congo Khan.
All right. So apparently it wasn't the same black woman, and neither was the one I thought it was.
No.
So I am behind the times on my Kurt Angle interracial relations.
Kurt likes him tall, black, and in ridiculously good shape.
Yeah.
Because as gross as Shaniqua was...
Tall, black, and better abs than him.
Yes.
Is the deal. Those are the boxes to check.
I'm going to find out who that other black woman was that he frequented her vagina.
It was Raka Khan, wasn't it?
Is that her name was?
Yeah. Shaka, but with rock.
Yeah, but who was she?
She was some weirdo that didn't Scott Steiner bring her in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her real name is Tranisha Biggers.
Yeah, it is.
That is her legal name.
I feel like we just shouldn't make a joke about it. There's too many.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's an easy target.
I'm overwhelmed.
Oh, apparently she also used to wrestle as Panther Claw.
That sounds pretty cool.
Oh, and she was in the Diva Search, and Maybe that's how he made the connection of like, oh, this is somebody down the road that I would like to frequent.
Much like Eva Marie, was she the 2013 Diva Search winner?
Yep.
P.S. There was no 2013 Diva Search.
You don't know that.
I feel like someone did the legwork on it. So, Curtis. I don't think it's Curtis. I think it's just Kurt.
It's
Curtis Angle?
It's just Kurt.
All right. I guess we could... you could list what he actually did as opposed to that weird, mildly racist tangent we got off into.
Mm-hmm. I guess she filed a PFA against him.
Nice.
At one point. Anyways, enough about Trenisha Biggers.
Trenisha Biggers.
Anyway, so Kurt's...
Please stop reading about her.
I can't. I'm in a hole now.
Just put the phone down.
I'm looking up images of her.
Stop looking up images of her.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting is the word.
She's very, fucking...
Live.
No. What's,
Biggers.
Careful. It's a slippery slope.
I know. You don't need to tell me.
Alright, anyways. For WWE/WWF championships.
Yeah.
1 World Championship. 1 WCW champion.
Oh, yeah.
1 WCW US.
Wow, I wouldn't have told you that.
Yeah.
When the shit did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
I guess in 2001,
Yeah.
because that's the only time it was a thing.
1 IC.
Yeah.
1 Euro.
Yeah.
1 Hardcore.
Sure.
1 Tag with Benoit.
Yeah.
He won the 2000 King of the Ring.
Yes, he did.
He, much like everybody else on this list, was a Triple Crown and a Grand Slam.
He also had the best match ever at the 2001 King of the Ring.
Yes.
Shane McMahon.
Oh, yeah, of course. That was his EF accomplishments.
Yeah.
Then, to me, the more important accomplishments are 6 TNA World Champion.
Yes, that's very impressive.
1 X Division.
Yeah.
2 Tag.
Yeah.
1 with AJ, 1 with Sting. He was a Triple Crown champion. I think he was the 2nd Triple Crown champion.
Besides AJ?
Besides AJ. And he won the King of the Mountain twice. 2007, 2009. To me, that was the biggest accomplishment of his career.
When he climbed a ladder,
Put a belt.
holding a belt,
To put a belt up.
and hung the belt up.
That's how you win. That's how you win the match.
Like he was interior decorating the arena.
Yeah.
Cool.
Put the belt up. Win.
Put the belt up, win, take the belt back down because you won the belt.
Because you won the belt. That is 100% accurate.
Did he also win a reverse battle royal?
He might have. He very, very easily could have. That was their motive. Do things that aren't the norm, man. Don't conform to the standards of wrestling. Be your own man.
Wake up, sheeple.
Sheeple.
I have friends on Facebook who say things like that non-ironically, and then I question a lot of things about them and myself.
Is one of them Brock?
No, I think if Brock said sheeple, he'd be ironic about it. Actually, I don't think Brock is capable of being unironic. But, no, I know some conspiracy theory guys who, when they're getting really into...
Ask questions.
Getting really into telling me about them chemtrails, that word sheeple comes up, and they're not joking. And it makes me sad.
Do they want you to ask questions?
They do want me to ask questions. So maybe I will.
You should vote for a third party.
Go ahead, throw your vote away.
It's a two-party system. Yeah, as you said last night, and I would agree, the TNA run is the more important one.
This is the easiest one, and I don't know why we're doing it. Yes, I agree.
See, that's the thing, though. I feel like Kurt did do some good stuff in TNA.
He had some good Joe matches.
Some good Joe matches, some good AJ stuff.
Yeah.
He had a decent couple with Sting.
Yeah. Oh, he did have the one with Sting where he tried to do a 450.
And almost murdered him.
I almost want to give the nod to TNA because of that one spot.
Nothing like being in your late 30s, early 40s,
Time
and
to try a 450
trying
for the
a
first
450.
time.
I'm going to see if I can find the video because I want to watch it right now. But yeah.
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 That was good. I will give it that. Yeah, like, no, he had some good matches. I feel like... What was his best match in TNA been? I guess that Joe Cage match
Yeah.
that, like, did the highest buy rate ever, and then they never did another match like it again because fuck success.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Are you finding the Kurt Angle 450?
Oh, it's here. I'm
Oh, you got
watching it right now.
Well
He's
done.
going up top. He's about to go.
Please describe it.
Oh my god, he's almost falling off the top rope. He literally... Oh! It's like a knee...
It was a 360 knee drop.
Yeah, it's a 360 knee drop.
Yeah. Sting died.
Ah, he kicked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing, alright.
Just watch it. I'm just going to quickly show you. Watch him go up and almost fall off the top rope.
Alright, let's check this out.
It's pretty pathetic.
I see gray-haired Kevin Nash cheering him on. Going up to the top. Looks extremely unstable. Oh, extremely unstable on the top. I can't believe he didn't fall off, actually. And does not get stable at all. Then jumps immediately.
Yeah, jumps from an unbalanced position.
Yeah, and does a somersault knee drop.
Yeah.
It's the best. Okay, I've changed my tune. TNA Angle all the way.
Yeah, 100%. He's the go-to. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like he did do some good stuff.
He did some good stuff.
He just also did some who gives a shit stuff, because that's what TNA was in that time period.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like... whenever he was around, he was booked pretty strong and pretty highly, but it's still TNA, and it's still hard to give a shit.
It's still Main Event Mafia.
Main Event Mafia. Which I assume is what was going on during that Sting match, which is why Kevin Nash was hanging out at ringside.
Yeah. And Fortune, but there was 5 of them.
Oh, I forgot Fortune.
Yeah.
What was that? AJ...
Bobby Roode, Magnus, Desmond Wolfe, James Storm.
But then Desmond
Kazarian.
Wolfe. Oh, yeah. So 6 people
6 guys,
Fortune.
and Flair, because he was like the manager.
Yeah.
In a group called Fortune.
Yeah.
Fortune.
Fortune. I would much rather a 4chan crew.
We could call ourselves Fortune.
And then, yeah.
Except for we are the Mighty Don't 69, so.
Yeah. TMD 69. Yeah, Desmond Wolfe didn't last too long, though, because he got a bunch of hepatitis and concussions. Yeah. So, his run was short-lived.
Very, very underrated, I think.
Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Or Desmond Wolfe, or, like, just Desmond Wolfe, or Nigel McGuinness in general?
In general.
Yeah.
The man himself. No matter what gimmick he was doing.
Yeah. Well, it was Nigel McGuinness for, I don't know, 98% of his career.
Yeah.
And then about 3 months in TNA.
Super thick. Big ol' hoss. Loses a bunch of weight. Gets super, like, in shape.
Yep.
Then gets hep and is done.
Yeah.
And now he's, what, the booker for the on-air commissioner type deal for Ring of Honor?
On-air guy.
Yeah. Fuck him. I'm glad he's dead.
All right. That your opinion seemed to take a turn. Yeah. That's fine.
But, yeah, I don't know. Kurt did tons and tons of good stuff in the E, so I think it's...
I don't think there's anything that happened in TNA that was close to Kurt versus Benoit.
Nope.
So...
Or, Kurt versus Shane.
Or Kurt versus Shane. Goddamn, Kurt versus Shane is so great. Yeah. Or Kurt and Benoit versus Edge and Ray. Or one of several other things. Or Kurt
versus Mark Henry at Royal Rumble.
Mark Henry at Royal Rumble going on after the Rumble, which is always smart booking.
Yeah. Because they've always wanted Mark to be that top star, and it has never once worked.
He's worked there for 20 years, Drew.
Yep.
You were a baby when they signed him.
I know. He was a champion.
He was a champion. Once. Twice if you can't ECW.
I know.
Nor should you.
Nope.
Yeah. Mark Henry. We could do a whole podcast on Mark Henry.
What's his best match?
Ryback at WrestleMania.
I was gonna say that or casket match with Taker at Mania.
Remember? Well, I don't know if you were that on it, but I'm sure you heard us talk about it. There's that phase in the mid to late first decade of this millennium. I don't know how to say it, because when I say mid to late 2000s, that could mean also the 2900s.
Yeah.
But mid to late last decade, when I don't know if it was the whole internet or just like the Death Valley Driver community, who all simultaneously decided that Mark Henry was the best worker in the world. And yeah, I don't know what that was about.
That's random as shit.
Yeah, and apparently there's now a similar movement starting for Bad Luck Fale. So I don't know if it's just like a group troll, or if
I feel like it's a group troll.
or if people are just like such wrestling hipsters that they can't like who's actually good and have to find someone who sucks to like.
Yeah, but I feel like Fale's a random choice.
Fale is indeed a random choice. Mark Henry's a random choice.
Yeah.
So I don't get you sometimes, internet. We don't always see eye to eye.
No. No, they don't. They're fucking dummies.
Yeah. So I think we've given Kurt Angle more time than he deserves. WWE by a fucking landslide.
Sure.
Next.
As long as we don't include the King of the Mountain wins.
Yeah, that obviously makes it a tougher discussion.
Yeah. Next is one Reynaldo Mysterio Jr.
Yep.
Would have started in 1988
Really?
at the age of
13?
11. No. Yeah, 12 or 13.
Is his debut? His debute's not 88, is it?
I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
It's something super early, though.
I would say
You're getting that wrong.
he was definitely wrestling in 93, so 92, maybe 91.
Mysterio's debut in AAA
92.
was April 30th, 1989.
Really? Crazy. Wow.
Yep. That is disgusting.
I don't think I've seen anything pre-92.
89, he was 15.
Wow. God damn, Ray.
Could you imagine how small he was at 15?
You're a little baby.
Like little tiny. He could have wrestled the LPs.
He could have wrestled the LPs, definitely.
Yeah. So he started in AAA.
Yeah.
Did some stuff.
Yep.
Then he moved to ECW.
Yep.
Did some more stuff. Pretty much just wrestled Psychosis.
Mostly, and then Hoovy.
And yeah, that's right. I forgot who he was there. Then of
And
course,
teamed with 911 against the Eliminators, and it was awesome.
did he really?
Oh, Ray and 911 against the Eliminators is an awesome match, legit.
We should find it. If it exists, I'll watch it.
It exists. I have it.
He then, of course, when WCW decided, like, oh hey, they got a thing we want. Let's start doing it.
Yep.
So then, of course, they did cruiserweights. So in '96, he came over.
Yep.
You know, he feuded with like everybody because he was like, he was like the
Use your words.
I'm stretching and trying not to. He was like the love child of professional wrestling fans. Like,
Yeah.
everybody loved Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, because he was doing this really crazy shit that nobody had seen before.
Yep. And he was tiny.
He was tiny.
But yeah, you know, Ultimo, Malenko, anybody you can think of that was in the Cruiserweight division at the time. Then he feuded with Prince Ikea for the TV title.
Nobody remembers that.
I wrestled with Super Brawl for it.
Great.
Then he started feuding with Eddie, as we mentioned during the Eddie
Yep.
part of this, that he had the best match in the history of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went on to feud with Hoovy. Then he feuded with Jericho a little bit.
Yeah.
Then Eddie formed the LWO and tried to make Ray join him. And then Ray became buddy best friends with Billy Kidman.
Yes.
And then they started feuding with all the other Mexicans.
Yep.
And then Ray lost his mask.
His mask, which we don't like to talk about.
Which was fucking the best booking in the history of booking.
Did he lose it to Kevin Nash?
Yep.
Great.
Then he did like that stupid giant killer gimmick.
Yeah.
Like he was feuding with like all the big guys, so it's like Nash, Bigelow, Scott Norton.
Yep.
Which was just silly. Then he ended up with a feud with Nash again.
Yep.
And then just bullshit, turn him heel, do the Filthy Animals garbage,
yeah.
which was just fucking stupid, and the No Limit Soldiers, and
Hoo-hoo!
that was just terrible. Then they did the Cruiserweight Tag Titles.
Yep.
And then WCW folded, and then he went back to doing Mexico and independent stuff.
Yeah, they did like
For a year.
random shit for a year.
He worked XWF, IWA Mid-South, HWA, CMLL. Anyways, and then he joined WWE in 2002.
Yep.
So his accomplishments before the E was he won 5 Cruiserweight titles,
Uh-huh.
the 1 Cruiserweight tag
Yeah.
with Kidman, and then he won 3 WCW tags, 1 with Kidman, 1 with Conan, and 1 with Hoovy.
He and Hoovy were tag champions.
Apparently.
Alright. There we go.
So then he joined the E. Didn't really do a whole lot to begin with until the first SummerSlam match with Kurt.
Yep.
Which was good.
That was really good.
Then he formed a team with Edge.
Yep, when 2002 SmackDown started happening.
And then he started a feud with Matt Hardy for the Cruiserweight.
Yep.
And then did some stuff. And then he feuded with Chavo forever.
Yeah.
Or it feels like forever.
It was forever.
Then he teamed with Eddie. Then Eddie turned on him. Then he feuded with Eddie. Then they did the Dominic stuff.
Had a ladder match.
Ladder
Eddie
match.
screamed, "Where the fuck is
Where
Vicky?"
the fuck is Vicky? Then in 2005, he won the Royal Rumble. 2006, sorry, he won the Royal Rumble. And went on to win the title. And then
One of the shortest world title matches in the history of WrestleMania.
Yep. It was like 8 minutes.
It might have been 10.
10.
It wasn't a lot, though.
Yeah, so he won the title at WrestleMania. Then he got put into a feud with JBL. And then he lost the title
To Booker.
to Booker. Sorry, yeah, to King Booker.
Yeah.
And then King Booker did whatever, and then Ray kind of just disappeared a little bit. Then he started feuding with Chavo again.
Sure.
Yep, he did.
When in doubt.
Started feuding with Chavo. Then he kind of did a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he had like kind of a weird downbeat. He was probably was off a bit for injuries, but like I don't remember a lot of Ray in like 07, 08. I can't picture much of what he did.
Then he came back in 08.
Yeah.
And he got drafted from SmackDown to Raw.
Sure.
And then he did a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
He won the IC title.
Yes, he did.
Had a 21-second match against JBL at
At
WrestleMania.
Mania, that's right. He squashed JBL.
Where he won the IC.
And that was JBL's retirement match?
His last match. Then he had a bunch of feuds with like...
That was 09, yeah. Then
then he feuded with Jericho. Jericho tried to take his mask.
Yeah.
And then he feuded with Dolph Ziggler for a while.
Right.
And then he was suspended for wellness policy.
What do you know?
And then he did surgery on his knee again. And then he returned, and he teamed with Batista. And then Batista turned on him.
Poor guy.
And then he feuded with Batista. Again, poor guy. Then he did the feud with Punk.
And that was really good.
And then he won the title again.
For half a show.
Half a show, and then lost it when Kane cashed in Money in the Bank.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that one. He's had like 2 one-day reigns, or 2 less than one-day reigns. Because Money in the Bank 2010, right? He won the title, then Kane cashed in that night.
Yeah.
And then, the one else, it was the, after Punk beat Cena at Money in the Bank and left, then they had the tournament.
Yeah,
Ray won the tournament and lost, so I don't even remember the storyline, but lost to Cena that night. Damn, Ray.
Yep. And then Del Rio debuted, and he feuded with Del Rio, which was garbage and really bad matches.
I don't remember any Ray versus Del Rio matches, like...
Because they were all bad. Yeah. Then he actually had a pretty good match at WrestleMania 27 against Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
And so he feuded with Cody for a while, then he got drafted.
That's when Cody had the face mask gimmick?
Yeah.
Then he just kind of faded off, right?
Yeah, then he just sort of did like random shit.
Yeah.
And then he teamed with Sin Cara.
Right.
And they were trying to make that happen.
And it didn't happen.
But Sin Cara kept fucking injuring himself.
And there's talk for years of Ray versus Sin Cara at Mania, and it never happened. And basically, then for like the last 2 years of Ray's career, he wanted to quit, and they wouldn't let him.
And he was injured like forever and ever and ever. And then he left, and he went to AAA and did stuff.
Yeah.
Was in a match where a man died. Then he went to Lucha Underground and did some stuff. And then here we are.
So we're splitting it up how?
I think we're just doing early and E.
So
because everything after the E is kind of...
So debut to 2001 and 2002 on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can work with that. So what are your initial thoughts on it?
I think this is the same as Punk, where it's kind of a story of 2 wrestlers.
It's very much a story of 2 wrestlers, and the difference between those 2 wrestlers is 50 pounds of muscle.
Yes.
Yes.
Bulking up, deteriorating health.
Destroying your knees.
Yeah. I think Ray still did a lot of really good stuff in the E, for sure.
Definitely.
Obviously, as he went on further down the road, it kind of got a little bit less frequent, and then he was also not around and also hurt. And I just remember the time that the Big Show strapped him to a stretcher and then swung him into the ring post.
One of the most dangerous things
and didn't protect him.
One of the most dangerous
and
things.
Show kind of got in trouble, but they were like,
what are you gonna? This shit happens.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
I think he was definitely, for the most part, more spectacular in his early years, when he had mobility and wasn't lugging around the aforementioned extra 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he was a lot more one-dimensional in WCW and earlier. He could have, he could obviously go out and have a great spot fest. Or alternately, a great Dean Malenko match where Dean controls him for 11 minutes and then he hits 2 minutes of high spots at the end and they go to the finish.
Mm.
But that was sort of it, and those were really only the 2 kinds of matches you could do with him, whereas I think he had a much wider variety of matches and was a lot more versatile style-wise in WWE, and it led to a lot of overall better matches and better feuds, like the Jericho feud in 2009 and the Punk feud in 2010 are 2 of his best series of matches, and And like him and Eddie did some good stuff in '05. It was obviously nothing like what they did in 1997, which I think everyone was hoping for and definitely didn't get.
But they shouldn't be surprised by that because you've got a heavier Ray and a kind of fucked up
And
Eddie.
Eddie who's gonna die real soon.
Yeah.
So, should have known what you were in for. But, yeah, and that when he first debuted, he did lots of good cruiserweight stuff with, yeah, he did some good stuff with Shavo at that time, and Tajiri and Matt Hardy, and then all the
Chavo Classic.
Chavo Classic, and then all the like SmackDown tag division stuff, like him and Edge against Benoit and Angle, I think was 2002 Observer Match of the Year, and yeah, and just really strong throughout that period. So yeah, I think if you I think definitely in terms of how well the matches will age, I think WWE is better, because like we were saying when we talked about with Eddie, like obviously the Eddie Ray Havoc '97 match is awesome and will remain awesome, but like stuff like Ray Psychosis at Bash at the Beach, and the earlier Ray Psychosis stuff like ECW and their match in the Super J Cup '95, like they're just doing spots.
Yeah.
And nothing in between.
Yeah.
Just like spot to spot to spot to spot. And the spots are good, but there is zero substance to anything they're doing. And I feel like if you watched several in a row, you'd probably get tired of it.
I agree.
So, for that...
Also, everything he did after he lost the mask was just a wash.
Yeah.
Because, like,
worthless.
none of that was anything. It was just...
No.
We have nothing for you to do. Make a faction.
Yeah.
Be fucking assholes. Like, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah. And, like, yeah. Tell me a good Ray match from 99 to 2001.
Nope.
There isn't one, right?
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. So, yeah. So there's literally 2 years wasted, basically. So that doesn't help matters for the WCW and earlier cause. So, yeah, I think I'd probably give the edge to WWE.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Yeah. And I guess just the one question coming out of that is regarding the massive amounts of steroids he had to do. Was it worth it, right? Or if you had stayed small, like, would your career have been
better?
Would your career have been that much worse if you didn't do all the steroids?
Oh. Well, I think...
Were the steroids worth it? Was whatever gain you got in your career worth largely destroying your body for?
He probably made a good amount of money.
He did, but how much less would he have made if he hadn't done it? Like, would he have got signed? Would Vince not have signed him if he hadn't bulked up?
No, I think he still would have.
Yeah.
I think he still would have signed him, but, like, would he have done what he did? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know.
He would have been used along the... Like, he might have been along the lines like Ultimo, where it's like...
Yeah.
You bring in a guy who's a name and a good worker and a good cruiserweight, but then you're like, do we really care?
They do some cruiserweight stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, hard to say. Yeah, I will leave it up to you, Ray. Was it worth it?
We expect your response.
As you listen to this from your hospital bed.
Yeah. Oh, you know, he's wrestling Triple Mania tomorrow night.
Oh, I guess he is, yeah. Who's he wrestling?
It's him, Puma...
I was going to say, there's no way it's a singles match.
It's him, Puma, and El Dragon Azteca versus Matanza, Mil Muertes, and Marty the Moth.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a definite Lucha Underground
match.
But if you look at the card, not to get too off trail here, look at the card, it's like almost all Lucha Underground guys.
Yeah.
Or like guys that work for Lucha Underground. But like that one is specifically like...
a Lucha Underground
doing
match.
their Lucha Underground gimmicks.
Yeah. Yeah, because like Azteca and Matanza and stuff.
Yeah. And even Puma.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
Huh. Well...
The main event is 3 guys who wrestle for Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, like, the mid-card title is guys who wrestle for Lucha Underground. The tag team title 4-way is... mostly all guys who work for Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Well, if you have one takeaway from this, it's go watch Triple Mania, which will have already aired by the time Part 3 of this.
And hope that it won't be as bad as last year's.
It can't be as bad as last year's.
Nothing can be as bad as last year's. Last year's was the worst show I'd ever seen.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, sure. Villanos and Clowns was amazing.
MOTY.
Yeah. -5 stars.
A true -5 stars. And it's made all the better by the production problems and Matt Stryker on commentary.
Yes.
All the hits. No misses. Trumpomania 2015. Go watch it.
Trumpomania.
Trumpomania. Make Mexico great again.
No, you can't.
Build a wall, make America pay for it.
Mexico was never great.
Darren Young was never great.
No. Oh, so there's no way Bob Backlund knows that he's a poo pusher, right?
Doesn't know. No one
wants to tell Bob.
No one should tell him
what will happen.
Yeah. Bob will just lose his mind.
Pillow biter.
Kill him with a chicken wing.
Yeah. Which was a Cobra Clutch.
I was gonna say that. I didn't see it till a recent Botchamania.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund taught Darren Young the CrossFit chicken wing, and then the first time he did it in a match, Darren Young did a Cobra Clutch.
Yep.
That makes me happy.
Because when you're a wrestler,
moves are hard, man.
Yeah.
Moves are hard.
You shouldn't understand, like, oh, I don't know what a CrossFit chicken wing is. I'm just going to do what I think it is.
I'm a fucking idiot.
It's Cobra Clutch.
I was in Nexus, man.
I'm Black Cena.
I had to grow a beard because I looked too much like John Cena.
Yep.
Also, I had to start fucking dudes because I looked too much like John Cena. People don't know that. It's not like he wasn't always gay.
No.
He had to become gay.
They made
him become gay.
Yeah, they forced him.
Yeah, with a series of injections.
To push poo.
Hot beef injections.
Gross. But yes, correct.
Alright, that's Ray. Who's left?
Well, left is the man that started this conversation, however long ago.
Last week?
No, it was several
years ago.
Several years ago.
Yeah.
When we started this conversation.
Yeah.
It was some guy, I don't.
Yeah, you fell asleep.
Mark Wahlberg, is that who we're talking about?
Michael Hickenbottom.
Michael Hickenbottom. HBK Shawn Michaels. Who...
as he's affectionately known, the nicest guy in wrestling.
The nicest, most willing to put other people over.
Yep. Not cokehead.
Good, solid Christian his whole life.
Yep.
Cares about other people, not just himself. But, yeah, because he definitely had a definitive, first half of career, second half of career.
First half of career, break your back.
Break your back, doing something silly.
4 years off, back.
Back. So in the first run, he had 3 WWF titles, 2 tag team titles, 3 IC titles. He won the Rumble twice. He was the first Grand Slam champion.
Yes.
And he was the European champion.
Yep.
And then in his second run, he was a one-time world champion.
And that's crazy. He was world champion for 1 month in his entire 2002 to 2010 run.
And then he was a 3-time tag champion.
His partners were
Hunter,
Triple H, John Cena,
and
Triple H again.
Yeah.
I like when they put out that best tag teams DVD. And I think they named Shawn and Hunter number 1, and it was fairly early in the DVD, so they hadn't even done the DX reunion yet, so they were just basing it on the first DX run.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, how many tag team matches did Shawn and Hunter have?
1, maybe
3.
Yeah.
Never won the tag titles.
Nope.
Never challenged.
Never
for the tag
even
titles.
feuded with a real tag team. It was just them doing their singles feuds.
Yeah.
And then the 2 people they were single feuding with.
Yeah, and then hanging out and making sausage jokes.
Yeah.
Basically.
One of them putting his wiener in China's butt.
Yeah, maybe both. We don't know.
It's possible.
We weren't there.
It's true. We were not there.
Yeah.
Sean could have been doing it. You don't know.
You don't know.
They could have been doing a train where it was his wiener in China's butt and China's wiener in Triple H's butt.
Yeah, I like that. I can see that.
R.I.P. Nah, not really.
So yeah, and I guess we're going Sean's debut to '98 for the first run, right? So from AWA and whatnot until the first injury took him up.
Yeah.
So like when, I don't know when he debuted.
And he lost his smile.
85, 86 would have debuted?
I'm going to lose my smile right now.
Probably 85. Hmm?
I'm going to lose my smile right now.
Are you? Oh no.
Yeah, I feel like it's going.
Did someone tell you that you have to drop the title on Mania?
Somebody told me I had to lose to Shane Douglas.
Ooh.
My smile's gone.
Well, that's not losing your smile. That's getting beat up by Marines.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. He debuted in 1984.
4, okay.
He is an old man.
He's an old man, and lately has, even later in his career, looked like it. Why did his eye start doing that thing?
Kind of got lazy eye, man.
What happened?
You stop wrestling, your eye gets lazy.
Well, his eye was lazy towards the end of the actual wrestling run, too. Like, the last couple years. Did someone just pop him really hard, and his just eye went wonky forever?
Very possible.
And those hair plugs. Those were good, too.
Yeah, those. Remember when they switched over to HD?
Yeah.
And it was the worst thing that ever happened to Sean?
Yeah, it was literally first HD broadcast. Ooh! Oh, boy!
Where did part of Sean's hair go?
What? How's he got the stuff at the front, and then there's like a gap in the middle, and then hair again? Yeah, it was a classic look. So yeah, and like two very different runs. He was, all kidding aside, he was probably the biggest garbage human being of the 1990s.
Oh, agreed. There's nobody worse.
I would say he hurt more careers than anyone else in wrestling during that time.
Well, and him and Marty literally hurt somebody's career.
And him, well, he was there. Marty was more involved.
He still came off the top rope with that splash.
He did come off the top rope with a splash on a paralyzed man.
Yeah.
So, I guess that counts. If you don't know what we're talking about, look up Marty Jannetty and Chuck Austin. If you're psyched about seeing a guy get paralyzed by a rocker dropper, and you're like, how does someone get paralyzed by a rocker dropper? You'll understand really quickly after you see this move. So, that was something. And then, so then his second run, he was, I assume still in his heart, a piece of shit, but less so outwardly, except for one very special match with one Terry Hulk, quotation marks, Hogan.
Yeah.
Where several years of born-again Christianity pushing down his inner asshole came bubbling to the surface, and he gave the silliest, douchiest, best performance maybe in a wrestling match ever.
It was the greatest thing ever.
Like, it was the biggest... I would say the biggest, like, fucking around on a grand scale in wrestling I've ever seen.
Easily.
Like, I've never seen someone, like, fuck around that much in, like, a pay-per-view main event type match.
Yeah.
It wasn't the last match on the show, but it was a main event. And, yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then the next night, back to business as usual, like it never happened. But for one special night, we got one more day of asshole Shawn Michaels. And it was truly glorious. But as far as matches, like, what do you think? What's
second?
I think so too. Actually, by like a fairly wide margin. There's not actually a ton of Shawn I really like in the first run.
Nope.
There's like the Razor Ladder match that
Razor Ladder match, of course,
and a couple other select things. There was that. There's a good match with Jarrett ended in your house. There's a good match with Owen ended in your house, but not a lot. Like,
and I want to say this right now. I dare anybody to go back and watch him and Brett.
Oh,
it is unwatchable.
No, fuck that match.
Yeah,
that match. I should have nostalgia and sentimentality for that match. That was the first pay-per-view I ever watched live. Was WrestleMania 12. No way I'm going back and watching that match.
No.
Fuck that match.
Fuck that match. Fuck him in Austin. At 14.
To be fair, he was a cripple.
Yeah, but that match is garbage.
It wasn't good. No. He tried, God bless him.
Him and Taker. Casket match.
Yeah, where he got hurt.
where he got hurt was not very good.
I
Hell in a Cell
Hell
was-
in a Cell's good. That falls in the good category. Odd finish,
Yeah.
but I guess
It's Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
it's got to be Kane. But yeah, no, that was a good match, but yeah, not a ton else. Like some fun rockers. Oh, Rockers versus Orient Express.
Of course.
It's really good.
How could we forget that?
Match I've seen a lot of times. Yeah, but that's really good. Yeah, and some good early rocker stuff. But yeah, not a ton else for like 10 years of work.
No, you're telling me him versus Sid isn't good?
It's not great.
Or him taking the best jackknife powerbomb of all time?
Oh, guys, do yourselves a favor. Check out WrestleMania 11. Not the main event, because that's Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. But check out the world title match on WrestleMania 11. Shawn Michaels versus Diesel. Check out the jackknife that Shawn Michaels takes to end the match.
Ugh.
And you'll be like,
Fuck you.
Shawn did this to his friend?
Yeah.
Imagine if he didn't like him.
Oh, yeah. Like, the most underwhelming finish of all time. Like, oh, man, my friend wants to give me a move. I really don't want to fucking take it. I'm just going to half-ass it.
I'm going to land on my feet.
I'm going to land on my feet and just lay down.
It's so bad. Yeah.
That's
like,
how Kelly should take every jackknife I give him.
Yeah.
Except for I don't give him a chance.
Land on his feet. Yeah. So, yeah, Shawn... What a guy. But then, second run, a lot of good stuff.
The first match back with Hunter.
That was pretty good.
That's about it.
That's about it.
WrestleMania with Jericho.
Mania with Jericho in 2003 was very good. And then every Triple H feud was terrible.
Yeah. Except for the first one.
Yeah, the first match was good, but because I remember they feuded in 03 going into 04. I remember they had one of the most boring matches I've ever seen at, I want to say, Rumble 04. Might have been on Last Man Standing or something, and it went for fucking ever and sucked. Mania 20, obviously, really good.
Nothing happened.
No one can hear you right now, by the way.
Nothing happened. There was no main event at WrestleMania.
There was no main event. But if there had been, it would have been good, and Shawn was in it.
Debatable.
And then Shawn decided to go on I guess from his comeback on, went on quite a run of good-ass WrestleMania matches.
Yep.
Because it was Jericho, the three-way Angle, which is great.
Yep, which is really great.
Which is actually the one other sort of smaller instance of Shawn's inner asshole coming back, where he sat in the ankle lock for, I'm going to say, 8.5 minutes before tapping out, and decided to completely kill the finisher. So that was pretty good. Yeah, so Shawn had a bit of an interesting 2005.
Yeah.
And then, a Mania, so the Angle match was great. Then Vince in 06, which was fun for what it was.
It was fun.
Cena in 07, which is pretty good, but then they had a better match on Raw. And then Taker 08, Flair 08, Taker 09, Taker 2010, all of which were, especially the two Taker matches, pretty fucking great. So, extremely strong WrestleMania run. A lot of other good pay-per-views. There was the Jericho feud in 08, which was really good. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a strong one. Are you literally asleep right now?
No. Look, I'm just comfortable while we're doing this fucking thing.
We should not do these anywhere in the vicinity of a bed. This is a problem.
Beds are comfy. I want to be comfy.
Your eyes are closed.
Yeah, that's how I get comfy.
I'm sorry, my mistake.
How do you get comfy? Eyes open,
Yeah,
staring ahead?
Eyes wide shut, man. That's how I get comfy. I watched that movie. Are you trying to get comfy with your eyes wide open? Are you trying to sleep with your eyes open?
Oh, it hurts.
It's weird.
It burns. Yeah, and I think the thing, too, is for the first part of Shawn's career, like, when you're tagging and doing mid-card stuff, you're more than likely going to face crap.
Yeah.
And when you're a main eventer and, like, a legend or whatever, and everybody thinks that you're the greatest worker of all time, you're going to be working, like, top dudes. So, and, like, I think just the WrestleMania main events alone, or matches alone, you know, the Taker ones, the Kurt, like, the
The three-way that didn't
the
happen.
three-way didn't happen.
Yeah.
The Jericho, like I think
Yeah.
those
All pretty fucking strong.
yeah. Also didn't have to feud with like Sid, Kev Nash.
Didn't have to cut Vader off at the knees.
Yeah.
I'm not losing to that guy. I'll lose to Sid later. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I'd rather lose to a guy who's not good as opposed to a guy who is good.
Yeah. Reasonable.
That's how everybody should do it.
It's okay. Vader's career totally recovered after that.
Yeah, of course. He went on to do great things.
He definitely wasn't a big fat piece of shit after that.
He was a big fat piece of shit.
Poor guy. So, yeah, I guess that's two pretty solid votes for Born Again Jesus-y Shawn Michaels. And I guess the lesson here is accept Jesus in your life, and you'll be a better and more liked wrestler.
Correct.
Right?
Worked for Sting.
Worked for Sting. Worked for Ted DiBiase, even though it was long after he stopped wrestling.
Yeah.
But if he wrestled now, he'd be better.
I don't feel like he could wrestle now.
He'd die in the ring.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
Like Kurt Angle will one day.
That has to be his goal, right? That's the only reason he's
Misawa, Perro Guerrero Jr.,
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
The holy trinity of in-ring deaths.
In-ring deaths. That guy that Great Khali killed.
That's an in-training death. You gotta...
It's still in the ring.
You gotta die on TV, man.
Still in the ring, man.
It is still in the ring. That guy that Kensuke Sasaki killed. He killed someone in training, too.
Oh, I had no idea he killed someone.
Credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we had talked about Chris Benoit, and then I guess we didn't write him down, but he's an interesting one. You could go either way on him. I might go early on pre-WWE.
Yeah.
Like he had a couple like all-time great matches in WWE. They had like the Angle match, the some stuff with Eddie, some
the Euro Intercontinental match with
Angle and Jericho.
Yep.
The ladder match with Jericho.
Yep.
The him and Angle tag against Edge and Ray, among others, and Guerreros and stuff. So yeah, some really good stuff there. I feel like after he lost the world title, he didn't do a lot.
No.
Really?
They lost interest in him pretty fast. And that was like the biggest like go fuck yourself title loss of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I can't even think of a lot of stuff he did. Did he?
He got drafted to ECW. Did nothing.
Did nothing.
This.
Died. Yeah. But yeah, like mid 2004 on for like the last 3 years of his career, like not a lot. Certainly no like super high end stuff.
Nope.
So that gives him 5 strong years in WWE. Four and a bit because he came beginning of 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then versus that, like, he was obviously, by and large, booked like shit, but, like, always fucking delivered in WCW.
Yeah.
And then some of his best stuff was in Japan, like Super J '94 and various other just Super Juniors tournaments. Even some Mexico stuff. There's a famous match with him and Villano 3 from like 1993 that's really good. And like early stuff when he's in the mask as Pegasus Kid,
yeah.
against Liger in like 1990 and 91. That stuff's great. So yeah, I would probably go debut to 99 versus 2000 and 2007.
Yeah, I would agree.
Him. Yeah,
I would agree.
Which I sort of wanted to bring him up because I found as I went through this, I was surprised at the number of people who I ended up picking their for usually their later WWE run as opposed to their pre-WWE run in whether it's in WCW or Indies and whatnot, like like Punk, Jericho, all those guys. So and what do we go with for Eddie? Eddie, we went early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both went early.
Yeah. All right, so we'll say 2 early votes for Benoit. So let's just do a recap of what we did for everyone, and then get out of here with what will be actually the shortest of the 3 podcasts. If we do it real quick, we can keep it under an hour, but I'm not making any promises.
Rob Van Dam, we definitely gave him the WWE run.
Yes, yeah, more probably cooler in ECW, but probably better in WWE.
Eddie, we gave his pre-WWE run.
Yeah, little more consistency we figured in the earlier run, and less dying at an early age.
Chris Jericho, we both said the E, and if we had split the E up into 2...
You'd have said
I did the first run,
and I'd
you
have said the second.
run.
Yeah, based on those 2 really good feuds you had. But yeah, both agree WWE. Again, a big thing, more consistent and more confident, and actually getting some kind of push. Sometimes.
M-I-G-G. What?
Something about Trinisha Biggers?
Yeah. For Punk, we both said WWE.
Same thing, like a lot, like better opponents to a degree, bigger push, bigger stage, more consistent, cut out some bad habits, whatnot.
For Claudio.
Did we split on Claudio?
We split on Claudio.
We did, yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I love him on the Indies. I just think he's more complete WWE. But on any given day, you could convince me to go the other way, as you have convinced me to before.
Yes, I have convinced you to switch.
Yeah.
Seth, we both said the E.
Yeah. Same, almost a more extreme version of Punk.
Yeah, definitely came into his own.
Yeah.
Became more of a superstar.
Yeah.
Sean, we both said WWE.
Less of a cocksucker, better
Barely.
Mania matches.
Angle, we both said TNA.
Of course.
No, Angle, we both said the E as well.
Because it's not TNA.
And Ray Jr., we said... I didn't write it down. What did we say for Ray?
I think we both said later. I think we both said WWE.
Did we? I don't remember.
I believe we did.
Rewind it.
I can't. We don't have the technology.
Okay.
I think because more complete wrestler in WWE,
Yeah.
and besides a few very spectacular
that's
things,
right.
more one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Earlier on.
Correcto.
And that's all of them.
Yeah, you want to do like Sheamus, or we could do maybe
I would. Yeah.
Ezekiel Jackson.
Please, let's do Sheamus. What are Sheamus's 2 runs?
Shame and H-Bear.
Uh-huh.
And then Red Gear.
Okay. Perfect. That's very clear. Okay, let's talk about it.
League of Nations. Best faction ever.
Yep.
Made sense. Because League of Nations should be those 4 countries.
Look, when I think of world powers,
Yep.
I think of England,
Yep.
Ireland,
Yep.
I'm trying to remember all the people, Mexico,
Yep.
and Bulgaria.
Yep.
Yeah,
World powers.
world powers. They've all put a man on the moon.
I would love to see the Mexican space station try.
They've all sung covers of Man on the Moon by REM.
Okay, fair.
They've all watched Man on the Moon starring Jim Carrey.
Sure.
That might be as far as their space programs go.
Very possible.
Yeah, and Ezekiel Jackson's worth talking about. Obviously, he does have 2 distinct runs. He has
Second one's better.
He has his 3 years in
Three.
Nexus and the Core,
And the core 2 R's.
of course, 2 R's, and then season 1 of Lucha Underground
Big Rick.
as Big Rick.
Getting his eyeball burnt out with a cigar.
Yep, and
Wearing sweatpants shorts.
in a baffling choice, Because, like, we know you own a lot of gear. We've seen you wear a lot of real professional wrestling gear throughout your entire WWE career.
Yep.
And then you show up on Lucha Underground wearing cut-off sweatpants. What's up, Rick?
Best look.
Explain.
Easily the best look.
Here's the thing. It actually was a great look. I loved it.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
So, obviously, he knows what he's doing. Like, it was a bold choice, but good for him. So, yeah, I think we both agree. Big Rick, second run. Final answer. No lifelines.
Final deletion.
Final deletion.
Delete.
Delete. Delete. I hope they keep making Hardy's references on WWE.
Only the Dudleys will do it.
Yeah.
Because the Dudleys don't give a fuck.
Nope. To make the crowd chant delete and Vince to lose his mind.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my top priorities right now, is to see Vince's steady descent further into madness. And to see what he does. He fascinates me.
He should. He's a lunatic.
Yeah.
Who likes little boys?
I don't think he likes little boys. I think he likes big boys.
That's true. That's good boys.
I think he found the wrong calling. I think he should have worked in WCW because that was where the big boys played. And here he was in WWF like a sucker.
Let me show you. Let me look at the adjective there. Play. We're not here to play.
This is work. This is a job. So yeah, that we're not keeping it under an hour, are we? I bet we're already past it. Yeah, hour 1. We blew it. Well, let's start again. Keep the script tighter this time. You went off script too many times.
Sorry. You want to go back and talk about cake?
We had a good talk about cake, and now Germany fucked it up big time. Twice.
Germany, you're the worst.
But before we devolve into that again, we'll probably wrap it up. So this was part 3 of 3. We promised
20.667.
Yeah, I guess we'll do .333 and .667. I remember we did a Halloween 3-parter once, and I was excited about that because the third part got to be .666.
Yeah.
The number of the beast.
Yeah.
But this one I'm going to be more accurate and round up my decimals this time. So get excited about that. So now you all know definitively, except in the case of Cesaro, who was better when. So now I feel like we've enriched your lives a little bit. And until next time...
Brock, how the fuck do you hate Okada? You're a piece of shit.
I'm going to say Brock is a shithead for not liking Kazuchika Okada, a undeniably great wrestler, and the Bulgarian space program is a shithead. Good night, everybody.